Hey guys and gals, this is Matt with MRB KRN, and today we just got back from the range and I'm going to show you how to clean a Sig 226, and in particular this is the 226 that is the new released edition, the Mark 25. We just talked about it out on the range today. Be able to tell that it's got that anchor there. And the way I'm sitting today, my gun's actually going to be kind of pointing at me, so just to not get any flack, we're going to rack it, check the chamber, no magazine, so this gun's unloaded. So I'm sitting here kind of cleaning with it. If I'm waving it around, I've checked it, it is a clear gun. So first off, start off with taking it apart here. And for those of you who aren't familiar with this kind of a takedown, there's this little retainer here, and you want to push that so it's vertical, and then you get a hold of the slide release, and I always kind of hold on to the top so it doesn't fly anywhere, and that'll come straight off when you release the slide. Doesn't really matter once you start on the bottom or the top part. Just take the spring out, watch it, it will try to jump on you, tap the barrel, kind of dislodge it, it'll pop out as well. Then you have an empty slide, and just kind of give it a good old cleaning. I do this with the Glocks, and I'm going to start doing it here with the Sigs here, but the baby wipes are have been working for me. I've talked to a couple very professional gunsmiths, and this is what they use. I mean, look at that, that's the extra that it gets out. Like, we've already wiped this gun down here from the range today, and coming back through with the baby wipes, you'll still get more stuff. So I always just get a good clean down here on the underside of the firing pin. It's really going to be nice and clean. Just get a general good wipe down. Always down here, like on the face where the striker plate is, give that a good wipe. Anywhere around the extractor and the sides of the gun here. So that's it for that. That's all you really need to worry about for the time being. Springs really don't need anything. I usually just kind of hold them and just kind of squeeze them a little bit just to get any large particulate off. Do the same with the barrel here. Give it a good wipe down, especially on the ramp here. And you'll notice the more wore out that baby wipe gets, it'll start to leave those white, almost like fibers, like a cotton ball. And all you gotta do is come, this is an old t-shirt we use as just a general wipe down. And then to finish off, I always roll with the Hoppe's bore snakes. This one in particular does 380, 9mm, 38, and 357. They make them in a lot of sizes, and they are incredibly helpful. Now, in case you don't know this, always start from the breech back and feed it in. So breech to the end of the barrel. And you always pull through. This is the breech again. Pull through like it's the bullet going through the gun. You want to go with that rifling grain. Just pull through again. And I always finish off, I have a silicone cloth, gun cloth here. And I always just give the whole side just a one thorough last wipe down here. And you shouldn't get really anything on this silicone rag. The gun part should be clean before you even get to there. But sometimes you do pick up some extra, so that's why you do it. So then this is, I mean, a lot of these modern day guns look very similar to a Glock on the inside. I think the Sig looks a little bit more contained and modular than the Glock. So yeah, just pretty general again. Wipe down the parts that get dirty, like the ramp here, or I'm sorry, like the base seat here that would feed a bullet up into the ramp from the magazine. Anything's on the exteriors, the bottom, anywhere where there's gunpowder residue. And a lot of these guns you don't need to get down into. I mean, they built them so that you don't have to do a whole lot of work on them, which is good because a majority of people who own guns or watch videos on YouTube, and I'm not going to say that I'm perfect either, but a lot of people get in here and start messing around and taking stuff apart that they shouldn't, and they break something or they dislodge something, and then they have a misfire, and then Sig or Glock or Smith & Wesson, some company gets sued because somebody was taking out the internals and messing around with it and they didn't put it back together right and the gun malfunctions. So just get a little wipe down here, and that is pretty much it. I am going to use this Tetra gun grease, which is what I use on my Glocks. I'm going to start using it here on the Sig. And all you do is you put just a little bead of it inside the rail channel here on both sides. So that it's down in there. You do 2 at the front and then 2 at the back. You can see it down in there. Put your barrel upside down, drop it in, and then you'll hear it click in. So if it shoves forward, just push it back and you'll see it pop out down here. Pop into place. And then put your spring in. Always watch out with springs because they do like to jump out and get you here. And you depress the spring and push it down and it'll lock onto the bottom side of the barrel there. And then you just get the rails lined up. Here's the sights, the bottom of the gun. And the rails just attach in there and slide. I didn't hold on to it there. That's what happens when you don't hold on to it, guys. And you bring it back, and then with the Sig you gotta put this lever back. So there's that lever is back now flush. Let it go. I always rack them, pull the trigger, and we're in business. So I always just do, once I got the gun back together, I always just give it a nice final wipe down because there's just a little bit of dust or residue still on here from the initial cleaning. Any kind of runoff of grease or solvents when you rack it, sometimes you'll get grease coming out of the edges if you put a little too much in there. And that's it. So I always just give it a couple good racks. Test the trigger. Test the decocker. And that's it. And this is just a quick video on how to do a basic clean on the Sig Saurer 226, the P226. And like I said, this is the new edition out there, which is the Mark 25 edition, which is essentially a heavily modified P226. Thanks for watching.